Alright, hello and welcome to my final group stage match in the first round of the Elements World Championship. Today I'm playing against Cheesy111, for whom I'm using the light theme because he was on Team Light in War. However, Cheesy is not actually using light in this match, ironically. I am not using Earth in this match, and thus my traditional Shrieker Quake will be replaced with this mini rush in entropy. And with that, we're about to get underway. Though Cheesy has just asked for a momentary delay. Consider changing my upgrades. This is my original plan, but I'm starting to think I might do the Quanta instead of the Disco. Do I want Quanta doing Discos? Oh shoot, I don't actually have any currently upped entropy Quanta. I'll just stick with the Discos. So I'll be playing Mono Entropy in Game 1. Much like when I played Shrieker Quake, the goal is a deck that can destabilize the opponent's rush. Unlike when I play Shrieker Quake, it's not by pillar denial, but by Quanta denial. And not winning the toss here is kind of unpleasant, especially this is a Mono Entropy mirror. But we'll see what I can do. Two early Discos is somewhat suboptimal, but I will still have a chance. If he has a Disco in his opening hand, this goes badly. If he doesn't have a Disco in his opening hand, this goes well. But that's the way of Mono Pony versus Mono Pony. Also in notable events in my... Yep, there's the Disco. Oh, that's not too bad. Notable events in my group, Calindu lost 3-0 to mrpaper, which in turn means that if I win this match, Calindu cannot pass me. And I would only have to stay ahead of either Cheesy or mrpaper in order to advance, or hypothetically Jen. I could have Chaos seeded that werewolf. Might have been the right decision, but trying to be a little bit safer. And we'll eventually have antimatters coming, though Disco can definitely screw around with that. Okay. Yep, there we go. So it was a very good thing that I didn't continue screwing around there. If he has another Nova, that werewolf is going to evolve. And I'm going to play for a Pandemonium. At which point I can try to get back into this. If this turns into a straight race, I probably lose, but I've got the antimatter to try to keep it from turning into a straight race. So it will be interesting to see what I draw, what he draws, how much Quanta each of us get. The Discos can completely troll either of us out of our Quanta. I really don't want to time out here because AI is likely to play my deck suboptimally. But if that happens, that happens. Go figure, yep. So yeah, Cheesy confirms that there was a desync of some sort, and that was not what I needed. Let's see what happens when I antimatter one of your werewolves. I don't think that's going to come in time. Yeah. Lost on my side. So that is going to be a loss. So I'll drop the first game, which is not a promising start. I only used up one entropy, while you used both entropy and earth. Now I'll rotate into what I consider one of my most reliable decks, which is my Raw Hope. Anyone who's been watching has seen this deck. So let's see what he wants to bring for game 2. So yeah, he's just saving the screenshot of the last win because if there was a desync situation, but that was a game that he had won. So an extremely generous Pandemonium maybe could have helped me there, but I did not get one on either end, and that's that. So, in this next match, I mentioned that Cheesy so far is the only player to have beaten Trashduke. He beat Trashduke 3 games to 2, while Trashduke beat me, Calindu, and Jen. So Cheesy has played pretty well in that match, though he lost 3-0 to Jen. We should be just about ready to go with this next game of the match. So right here I'm looking at definitely playing this, and then I'm not sure 100% what I'm going to play in the 12 slot. My most likely option in the 12 spot is going to be my pretty standard Blessing Pegasus stack, though Scion Recluse could make an early appearance if Game 2 goes badly. I basically intend to play Scion Recluse tall whenever I get to 2 losses in this match, because I desperately need to get as many wins as I can from this match in order to try to stay ahead of Calindu. If I get 2 wins in this match, I have chances of staying ahead of both Calindu and Jen, depending on how theirs go, and mrpaper. Calindu, Jen, mrpaper, and Cheesy are the other ones that are still in my group that haven't secured advancement yet. If I lose this match, it's not great for me. As long as I get at least wins in this match, I at least have a chance. So he's pulling at least an entropy mark again, which is interesting. I'll confirm that he's in. So entropy could mean pandemonium, which would be a very, very bad scenario for me. But if it's not pandemonium, I'm in okay shape. Time entropy, it's chaos dunes. Oh my god, it's chaos dunes. That's more or less a best case scenario for me, because he can't get one out quickly enough. And even if he does, like, my rays will overwhelm pretty quickly. He could have, like, RTs in there or something, but my chances here are pretty okay, as long as I don't, like, completely screw up. I only put 9 on the board instead of 10 just to play a little bit safe, but that's the goal. I need to draw a hope is the thing. I have 3 hopes in this deck, 21 cards, so it's 1 in 7 each turn. Alternate perspective, I should expect to draw one within roughly 4 turns total, so as long as he doesn't have, like, pandemonium, this is an acceptable scenario. This means he'll have no more entropy and can't disco me, which in turn means that my ether is relatively safe. But I don't want to play mono ether earlier than I have to. He also doesn't have reflectives, so he can't handle Scions via reflectives. Are we about to have another timeout? That would be really frustrating. Yep, that's another timeout error. So the interesting thing is that his RTs are draw locking me, but we'll see what happens. Yep, there's the chaos powers that we were expecting. One hope will end this shortly. Oh geez, or just golden dragons. Okay, so we'll take the screen cap of this. Well, I don't want the Red Cross ad. I'll take the screen cap and imgur it. It will be kind of hilarious because I never drew hope. So I used my ether and light. He used his second entropy in his first time. And I've evened the match at 1-1. So there we go. Now, I have a decent sense that dims might be coming, or scions. I'm gonna play this, and I'm just going to toss in one extra reflective, one or two reflectives. So I'm going to play Blessed Pegasus, but I'm going to add stuff. I'm actually just going to sub out the two solars and make them both reflectives, because I really need that. Assurance. And I'm also going to tack out one Pegasus for a miracle. Did I do two? No, just one Pegasus for a miracle. This helps in a couple of matchups, but with the potential of ether, mono ether coming from Cheesy, I need to at least so. So he has 4 elements for 3 remaining games, which means he needs to use 2 monos in a duo. I'm ready for next. Yeah. There are alternatives they could have considered, but and there's the ether mark, which suggests what I was more or less expecting, that this is going to be some sort of ether deck. And that is basically a perfect draw there. I could not have been much more satisfied with that top deck than I was. I might also have gone a little too penned heavy and might have wanted more pillars in this deck. That's just a possible critique of it. I don't really need that much air, except the fact that I want to... Oh, alright. Except the fact that I want to have several Pegasuses in play at a time. If this is a stally ether deck, I just lose. And that would be kind of unexpected. Remember that he has no reflector. This is his Scions. Okay. This is his Sciontal. So I basically need to start, like, hoping that I get my reflective in time. I have 2 reflectives in this deck in 20 cards. And I need reflective before I just die. He might have been clever enough to tech in recluses to his Sciontal, or he might be playing a straight traditional Sciontal. He's fractaling the Scions. That is basically the best thing I could have hoped for, because now I have outs. As long as you're fractaling Scions, I have outs. Yes, you're hitting me for 15 this turn, which is kind of painful. If I draw my Miracle, I could still get out that way also, so I'm actually... Yes, it is smarter not to play my Pegasus this turn, because I am relying on drawing one... I have 3 outs in the deck out of 18 cards, which means I have 1 in 6 of drawing it on this next turn, and 1 in 6 twice is about 40% odds of drawing it in the next 2 turns, which is all. I only have 2 turns to draw it. Alright, I get 7, so I can spend 7 this turn. Miracle's still not for the record. Miracle's a nice semi-out, but it's not 100%. I now have 3 in 17 of drawing a card that will keep me alive. Just not great odds. But he can't end me this turn, which means I still have those 3 card odds. And you fractal again. Interesting. Reflective, reflective. No, that's not good enough. Alright, well, I'll just do this and... show that I was within 1 turn, but... yeah, that didn't happen. Alright, so I've used my last light, and he's used his mono ether, which means he has to use ether with either earth or time in one of his 2, and then the other one has to be that. So now I'll get ready to play my Sciontal with unupped Scions. And so I will get ready for this, playing my, he says to hold a second. It's fine. So at some point he'll be ready. What I need to do is basically rely on this deck to get me to at least 2 wins. That puts me at 9 wins in the group. So when Cheesy is ready for this 4th game, my best option is most definitely this deck. I don't have Ether in the last game, because I can't really afford to play my Sorfaros in game 4 and lose. I technically could play an Ether time deck, or entropy time deck, I mean. But there's not really an entropy time deck that makes me happy in the present options. Powerful entropy time decks would be something like Chaos Dunes, for example, but you don't really want to play Chaos Dunes in the 20 upgrades spot. It just doesn't have enough raw power. And yeah. So your options, my options, what I could be against. Worst case scenario is absolutely Shrieker Quake. SOW Dunes is also not a great scenario, but I'm probably fast enough that it doesn't matter. Shrieker Quake is definitely my worst case scenario, especially like an RT Shrieker Quake, something like that. But he's already played Mono Ether, so he can't play an RT Shrieker Quake actually, because that would use up all of his elements. What else does that mean he could play? He can play Mono Earth Shrieker Quake like the one I've been playing. He could play Mono Time. He can play Ghostal and save Shrieker Quake for game 5. Ghostal and saving his Shrieker Quake is actually maybe a stronger option. The thing is that Ghost isn't that scary without Mare. He has no reasonable way to play Scions either in an Earth deck or a Time deck. And he has no access to Butterfly Effect. So this means that I'm probably safe if I can keep my dims up in this match. Yeah, I'm almost certainly safe if I keep dims up. That's actually a really important point about this game here, that I'm fairly safe if I keep my dim chain. Like, very, very safe if I keep my dim chain. I've been running 5 dims, but I might even be tempted to run 6 dims this game. I'm gonna run 6 dims this game because my dim chain is safe. So only source of healing is a potential stone skin. And you can't really play Immortal Stall with the elements he has. You probably can't get Earth Quanta fast enough to make Stone Skin a viable tactic. Yeah. I feel like I can claim a single, almost guaranteed win in either game 4 or 5 by playing the Mono Ether, because I don't think he has options left that do well against it. Unless I get bad RNG with it, which is also always a possibility. Dark Mark? So I don't know what he's doing that would involve a Dark Mark. I can't think of a single darkness activated ability in any of his remaining elements that would make enough of a reason. He doesn't have access to entropy anymore. He's played 2 entropy decks. Hasn't he? Didn't he already play 2 entropy decks, or am I misremembering? No, he played Chaos Dunes, and he played... I'll have to ask after the game, but... I'm 99% sure he's played both Chaos Dunes and a, Nova Grabby. Yeah. Now, it's important that we actually establish this, because if his deck is illegal due to elements, this does not count as me having used Ether. But if his deck is, if his deck just loses, but isn't illegal on elements, then Ether will have been used, so it actually does matter. I'll go ahead and ask. Right away. Might have to get a confirmation of that ruling, but I believe that's the ruling that's been given elsewhere, is that no elements are used for either player if there's an illegal deck situation. I'm waiting to see if we can confirm that. I believe that's the case, but I want to, yeah, I'll ask if anyone else remembers that for sure. getting confirmation on that ruling. I'll go ahead and insert the upgraded scions to get ready for game 5. Alright. So we did get confirmation that is the ruling, so we'll still have access to ether, which is what I thought the ruling is. At which point then I'm going to alright, so neither of us used an element in game 4, which means that I can bring my mono ether in for game 5. Cheesy, therefore, is playing time, which is pretty reasonable here. I'll have enough quanta to get a turn 1 recluse out, which I like, and there's the shriek. There is RT Shrieker Quake, which he actually now is going to play. So he's actually playing his RT Shrieker Quake here. And that's going to be really irritating. But if we can get enough of a rush down, I forgot to account for the fact that he could now play RT Shrieker Quake, but I still think my chances are acceptable here, given that my Quanta split came out pretty nicely on the opening hand. My Pillar Pen split, that is. Something like diamonds could be a problem. This is definitely a potential problem deck. This is definitely the best deck against this deck that he had remaining. Oh my gosh, alright. So much Quanta denial. He's had 3 earthquakes already in the deck. On the other hand, I'll be at 17 per turn, starting next turn, which is probably enough to race down to 64. I'm 4 turns from victory unless he manages to play some sort of response to that. Oop. That was inadvertent. Yeah, he needs to draw his RTs and he needs to draw them fast. I'm kind of apt to save my Quanta in case he RTs something, or if I need to play a dim, but I'm 3 turns from winning this match, and if I win this match, my chances of advancing go up considerably. So, like, there's no worst case scenarios here that I'm especially concerned about. So I can probably, unless he has like multiple rewinds or something. But that's interesting. The dim had to come out there. That was closer than I thought. Oh wait, the longsword is an illegal card also, actually, but yeah. Missing, which then in turn gives me the final turn. So it's victory. I'm not sure whether the longsword is illegal or not, but I win that regardless. Using only ether in that game, and he used, I believe, I can't update that final scoreboard for 100%, but and that is the end of that match. So thanks for watching, and I'll post in the description how the final standings of the group went. Thanks for watching.